Well, hello everybody and good evening. So this is my first show ever, or first, what do you want to call it? Talk ever? Sorry. So I'm kind of winging it. I'm going to get used to a certain aspect and then I'm just going to kind of go with it. But tonight I wanted to touch on something that's quite basic, quite simple to explain, and a lot of it's going to be my opinion. A lot of it's, and some of it's going to be based on things I've heard, things I've read, things I've seen, and just basic observations in general. So, I wanted to start with the role of the heathen woman. Now, I have been in this lifestyle since 2016, about Mayish time frame, and so far I have learned to this day that the role of a heathen woman is no different really from any other basic role of a woman, no matter what religion she's in. Um, I know a lot of you are probably going to disagree with that, and that's fine. But over the course of centuries, over thousands, hundreds of years, um, through all the research that's been done, it's shown that through every society, every religion, pretty much the role of a woman is the same: mother, wife. That is our basic nurturing, caretaking, loving role on this earth. And that doesn't mean that we are not strong or that we don't have other things that we can do or that we're not capable of doing other things as well. It just means that that's our basic natural instinct is to go toward that because that's our one of our main duties on this earth, right? That's how we procreate. That's how we've built this earth with people is by the woman's womb and the man's sperm, right? Happy Ostara, by the way. And so that's one of the things that I think we we think into it too much. We overanalyze and we make up all these rules and we hear this coming from this religion or this political group or this society in general, and we tend to put these things on us. And then we get stressed out and we're like, oh, wait, what am I supposed to be doing? And a lot of us already know where we stand and we know what our place is, what our roles are, what we need to do in this life. A lot of us even know our own purposes. So many of us don't get confused by all the different messages coming in from social media and different media outlets in general, and from our families and friends and whoever else is whispering in our ears or yelling in our ears. So I think that we need to focus on the fact that it's the natural feeling that we have inside, right? That natural tendency to want to take care of something, whether it be a child, an animal, maybe a plant for some of you. It could be taking care of people in a career role. It could be a variety of different things. But I think the biggest thing we need to look at is that nurturing part. Because if a woman doesn't have something to nurture, anything to nurture, she can tend to go down some pretty dark roads and nurture the wrong things. Like, for example, nurturing family members who are sick, sick by choice, though, such as um, drug addiction, alcoholism, food addictions, sex addictions, video game addiction, pretty much any addiction you can think of. Some women are enablers. We tend to, I shouldn't say we, I'm not an enabler, I'm actually the tough love type. So most people stay away from me when they're going through addiction things. But the enabler types, the types that say, "Oh, it's okay, I'll help you through this, I'll give you that, I'll keep giving you money even though you keep blowing it on your addiction." People like that, right? That's the kind of nurturing that's dangerous, unhealthy nurturing, right? And so we need to make sure that we're paying attention to our needs and limiting our wants, right? Because it's okay to want things. It's okay to um, go out and work out and go shopping if you want to, and buy a nice new outfit for yourself, or maybe go get your hair done, your nails done, something like that. It's okay to do those things for yourself in moderation, just like anything else. It's good to eat bad in moderation, maybe once a month, even, I'd say, right? But so I'm getting a little off track, but you get my point. Nurturing is our main role. It's our main biological wiring, our main function, you know? So then so that's why when it comes to heathen women, I don't really pay attention to the whole heathen, pagan, Odinist all those labels and titles, I don't pay attention to that because I know who I am. I'm a white European woman. I'm a straight white European woman. I have babies. I have a man. I have a home. My main duty, I know where that lies. It lies in my home. My home is taken care of first, and that includes my children and my man, right? Those are my main priorities. As long as those are all taken care of, fulfilled, happy. Of course, you can't make everybody happy all the time, but you get where I'm going with this. As long as those are taken care of first, then I'm free to go out and do whatever, or not even go out and do whatever, but I'm free to do whatever I want, right? As long as it's healthy, as long as it adds to my well-being and not takes away, and also for my family, as long as I'm doing things that in the long run will always benefit them, that's good then, right? So basically, that means that once I take care of my family, that doesn't mean I go spend $1,000 somewhere just because I did my job as a mother and a wife, right? That's ridiculous because that ends up hurting the family, doesn't end up helping the family. So that's the basic thing of a heathen woman or just a woman in general, right? Uh, and then I'd like to go into other parts of things that we've read in the lore, or maybe things that we've just heard about in, let's say, the TV show Vikings. So, shield maidens and Valkyries, right? So I know there's a difference, obviously. I've been reading about this for a little bit, but the gist of that, they're stories, they're myths, they're things to add a little excitement to life. Uh, Now, I'm not saying there weren't exceptions, that there weren't women who went out and fought side by side with men, okay? But there were not many. There were very rare cases, if they were. And if they were, it's because there was something exceptional about them. Maybe they couldn't have children. Maybe nobody wanted them for whatever reason. They could have been, I don't know, I don't want to go into speculation, but you know what I mean. There could have been thousands of reasons why these women were chosen, right? These specific, very exceptional women were chosen as actual warriors, right? Or there could have not been warriors at all. There's a lot of there's not a lot of evidence that there was any warrior women. There was one that was uncovered. I think a lot of us heard about this, but there's a lot of debate on that, because even though she was dressed as a warrior, she had no marks of warrior wounds on her bones or anything. So that was a little odd. And so there's a lot of debate with whether she really was a warrior woman or maybe she just helped in some sort of way during a battle or something like that, where then she was buried with honor. um, there's a lot of things that we don't know, you know. And so the thing I want to say about that though is that I do believe that there's always some truth to myths and stories. I believe that they come from somewhere. The ideas kind of pop into our head from somewhere. I mean, what kind of man wouldn't want to be saved by a beautiful, strong woman, a Valkyrie coming down and saving him in the middle of battle? Men today go to war with a picture of the woman they love under their helmet, or maybe sometimes in their pocket on their under their flak vest. Even women who will go to battle today take a picture of their man or their children. So there's different ways to honor women, in that way. And I wanted to include this in this little talk because we we tend to think that a lot of people view us as weak because we're women, right? Physiologically, sorry, physiologically, we are built differently than men. It's been studied a billion times by scientists of all kinds, okay? It's not a secret. Our bones are more fragile than men's bones. Men's bones are denser than ours, right? That's how they can tell the skeletons. That's how they can tell whether it's a female or a male. One of the ways, anyways. And so we're not built for war. We're not built to be slammed into walls and punched and kicked and thrown around. Men, they're just kind of built for the rough life. And there's a reason for that. There's also a reason that they're biologically wired to want to protect us and to want do everything they can to make sure that we're okay and that we're uh, well, what do you want to say? I don't want to say paid for, taken care of in the financial way, you know? They want to make sure that their kids are the same because obviously kids are fragile too. So they're born to be protectors, and it's just something that's ingrained into them. So when I talk about women in the roles of the Shield Maiden or the Valkyrie, there was really no such thing. Now, I think personally, I think that this could have stemmed from maybe when the men were gone, women had to hold down the fort, right? We had to make sure our kids were safe. We now became the protectors when our men were gone. So if any enemies did come on our land, what did we have to do? We had to protect, right? So I'm sure some of our women had to take up arms a few times just to make sure that nobody would steal the animals or steal food from the yard or, I don't know, rape them even, you know? And I think that goes a little step further too to say why men didn't want us in battle with them. Why would our own men take our own women from their town that they want to protect and make sure that they're secure, take them with them on a battle where those women could be kidnapped, raped, tortured? Uh, who knows? Why would they want to do that? Then they'd have two different duties while they were just trying to have one. Their main duty would be to go to that battle, get what they want, pillage, and do whatever they're going to do, right? Take whatever they're going to take, conquer whatever they're going to conquer. But then they'd also have to make sure the women aren't being messed with by the enemy. That would suck. I mean, imagine how much stress that would add to the already stressful situation. So, when it comes to Shield Maiden and Valkyries, again, I'm not saying women cannot be strong and serve in those kinds of roles. There are lots of women who are very, very strong, and there are many men who are very, very weak, right? But on a general, across the board type thing, no. Women were always wives and mothers. That's what we were. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, if you ask me, I think that's the most honorable duty that we can take up. Being a wife and a mother, me having carried 4 children, I can't tell you a more greater gift than to be able to feel a child growing inside of you. I don't know anything more powerful, more, I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. That's how powerful it is. I don't know how to put it into words. But just to carry a child for that many months, to put your body through all that pain and all those changes. Some women, I mean, some women never go back to normal. Some women snap back. And yes, usually we all hate you. I'm just kidding. But no, you know, a lot of women do snap back, but they're still changed forever in a way. Your hormones, sometimes those change permanently. The chemicals in your body change. Your hips sometimes widen, permanently. These are all permanent things I'm talking about. Sometimes you get stretch marks that are permanent. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of other things I'm sure I'm probably missing, but I'm just getting to that point, where being a mother is such a privilege and it's such an amazing feeling that I don't know why anyone wouldn't want it unless they had really bad childhood. Maybe they had a traumatic childhood. Maybe they had a bad interaction with men. Um, there's so many things that can ruin that train of thought for a woman, being a mother. Maybe she doesn't have enough support or encouragement to become a mother. Maybe her own man isn't supporting her enough to have her have those feelings of security enough to want to be a mother. There's so many things, but all I know is that when I first became a mom, I didn't want to be a mom. I'll be honest with you. I never planned on being a mom or a wife. I was I had a traumatic childhood. I saw so many things I didn't want to see. I had so many things happen to me that I was not expecting for my life, and I didn't want to be a mom. My first child, she was not planned, and she knows it, so this isn't a bad thing. But she wasn't planned, and I'll tell you what though, when I first felt her inside me growing, it changed everything in me. It I no longer didn't want to be a mom. Now I wanted to be a mom. And I never thought I would want that. And when I first held her in my arms, it was perfection. It was that feeling of ultimate bliss that you can't get from any drug. You can't get from any addiction. You can't get from any human being except your own child. So it was glorious. And that pain that you go through during childbirth went away completely, 100%. I didn't care about that at all. That's why I had three more. So, anyways, that is the heathen woman role. That is, it takes a lot of strength to be a woman. It takes a lot of patience, tolerance, endurance. It takes a lot of those things. But most of all, I want to say this. Don't let the world talk in your ear. Don't let social media talk in your ear. Don't let religion talk in your ear. Don't let 100 family members talk in your ear. Don't let friends talk in your ear. Don't let anything enter your mind that is a negative thing towards your ultimate, beautiful, and most honorable duty on this earth. Just don't do it. And for all those mothers who can't have kids, I believe me, I hurt for you. I do. And for all the mothers who have lost their babies, that even hurts me more. I mean, it's just, it's heartbreaking. But at the same time, we got to realize that there's a reason for everything that happens. And the reason I keep saying don't let religion or friends or family or anything, because you're going to get a billion different opinions from so many people. And I've always told my daughter this: pick one or two people that you trust without a doubt in this world, and then stay with them. Don't listen to everybody else. Don't let magazine articles get in your head or internet crap. You know how much crap is on the internet about being a mother? How many negative things there are? I mean, of all the negative things there are about being a parent in general, they don't compare to the positives. They never will. They never will. And you're speaking to somebody who was an atheist for most of her life. And then I was a Christian. And then I finally found my home. And my home is being an Odinist. Um, Pagan, whatever you want to call me, but I stick with Odinist because that's my go-to. I know I'm a female, but Odin, he's my god. Well, one of my gods. So, being a heathen woman is that basic. It's that simple. You don't need to go read a ton of books. You don't need to go search up a bunch of articles on the internet. You don't need to talk to a bunch of people. It's the most natural feeling you can think of. It's going out in nature, realizing who you are, and not letting anybody break that. So, besides that, just remember, feminine does not mean weak. And yeah, I think that's all I have for tonight. But hopefully you enjoy this. Leave me feedback, please. I want to know how I can improve. I want to know what I can do different, do better. Um, and usually I won't look like this. It's just I had a long day. I went on a date day with my man. We went to the gym. And then we went out to eat, and then we went to do regular errands, but it was kid free. So that was our date day. And it was wonderful. So, anyways, usually I will be more appropriate in the way I dress and the way I look. And yes, I believe that's another role of mine as a woman. I do believe that it's my duty to look, you know, proper when I do things for the public or even for private, of course. I want to look good for my family too. So, anyways, and anything else I need to explain or, add into the next video, just let me know. I really want to start doing this on a regular basis. So if you have any more ideas too, always add them in because I would love to hear them. Anyways, to my lady folk, and if my men folk are watching too, I love you all. Take care of yourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, sexually. All of it matter. All of it. If one's off, all go off. So, all right. Have a good night.